Namaste, I'm Brad Terrell. Welcome to another MovePat video where we're going to focus on some hovering drills for beginners. So as you might know by now, I absolutely love the position of Chaturanga. But not only do I love the position itself, I love moving in it in all these different ways, and that's what hovering is really all about. Similar to the Chat transfer, where we're moving into the Chaturanga sideways and we're transferring in and out from a side position, the hovering we're moving back and forth. So we're going forward and back into the Chaturanga position, either ending up directly through to perhaps a cobra or upward facing dog, very similar to vinyasa, or moving ourselves back all the way to a downward facing dog or a puppy or even a child's pose. So we're going to look at all of these different modifications and progressions. We're going to start with the most basic way to get into Chaturanga, one that if you know Chaturanga already, you may have practiced it practicing a traditional vinyasa class, moving from a high plank position to a low Chaturanga position. So we're going to practice that first. I'm going to give you guys a few cues about what you should be feeling and doing in your Chaturanga before we start hovering into the position. For this class, unlike most MovePat classes, we don't necessarily need a mat in most MovePat classes, but for this class, you can definitely use a mat if you'd like, because we're going to be a little bit more stationary, and at some points we're going to be on the knees. So if you feel more comfortable using a mat for this class, go right ahead. I'm not going to use a mat because I've done these many times without the use of the mat. But if you feel uncomfortable with the knees, or maybe you're looking for a little bit more of a grip, you can go ahead and use it. But again, remember that these postures, these transitions, make up a small part of a bigger flow. So eventually you'd like to get rid of the mat as you start to progress more and more with the hovering. So without further ado, let's get started by dropping into Chaturanga with some vinyasa type movements. So from high plank, lowering into Chaturanga, and we're going to work through some of our vinyasas. Starting with high plank, when you're ready. Feet together. We definitely don't want to deviate too much from feet together, or maybe about hip distance apart. Try and start with feet together. You're going to lower, and maybe we even start super beginner, dropping knees, chin to chest, and then pull yourself up to cobra. Okay? Try not to dump into the shoulders. Try and roll those shoulders back. Flip the toes. Work your way back to downward facing dog. If you need to, bend at the knees. When you're ready, roll out forward, high plank. Try and keep those feet together. This time, see if you can start to lower, bringing those elbows in as you come into Chaturanga, staying here for a moment, and then pushing through the toes as you lift the crown to the ceiling. Flip the toes back, exhale, downward facing dog. We'll see if we can do this another 6 times. Try and find a moment to pause in that Chaturanga position. If you're still struggling with this alone, perhaps you're moving forward, dropping to knees, chin, then the chest, so you can really feel the triceps at work, keeping those elbows in nice and tight, coming up, press back, downward facing. So see if you can go for another 5. Inhale forward. If you can, lower Chaturanga, keep those elbows in, up, downward facing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Always try and inhale on the way up, exhale back. Beautiful. You can take a moment on the knees. Lovely. So those are pretty familiar if you've practiced many vinyasa classes before. Obviously, you've practiced lowering to Chaturanga. Now we're going to try and hold that low Chaturanga for a total of 10 seconds. So we can do that 5 times. So just moving from high plank or downward facing dog to high plank to Chaturanga, and then we'll start getting toward our hovering drills. If you're struggling with your Chaturanga and holding it for a total of 10 seconds, what I want you to do is lower, keep the knees to the floor, keep the elbows in nice and tight, and try and keep your gaze slightly down and forward. Okay, so that the spine is neutral. If you're still gazing forward, then the cervical spine isn't straight. So just slightly out in front of you is your gaze. Eventually you'd like to pull up through the knees. Okay, when you're ready, I want you to come to downward facing dog. We're going to lower, hold for a total of 10 seconds, either with the knees to the floor or knees off. Maybe you can do something in between. If you're about to give out, drop the knees and finish the 10 seconds with the knees to the floor. When you're ready, downward facing, roll out. See if you can perform a little bit of a roll as you roll forward to high plank, lowering. 10, 9, 8, squeeze the glutes, elbows in, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either pressing back up to high plank or moving forward and then back. We'll see if we can do that another 4 times. When you're ready, inhale forward, lower, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe pressing up, high plank, and back to downward facing. Another 3 when you're ready. Lower, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up and back. Try and make sure that you're not rolling the shoulders forward. You're still trying to roll the shoulders back as you lower to Chaturanga. Another 2 when you're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, back. This is difficult, so again, you can always drop at the knees here. Last one, when you're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Upward facing or plank. And back. Beautiful. Good. You can shake out the arms. Lovely. Now we're going to get set for our first hovering drill, which is starting from the knees. So you'll notice that as we start to move forward, we can find ourselves kind of gaining momentum and getting into that Chaturanga position, which is great. But the hardest part of this movement isn't actually moving forward, it's moving back, which we need a lot of anterior delt strength and trap strength in order to do that. So really focus on the 2 as you start to press yourself back. The anterior delt, the trap, you'll activate them much more if you have a slight internal rotation of the hands and the shoulder. So as I move forward into Chaturanga, I'm going to come in, and then as I press back, I'm slightly putting my elbows out. I don't want to put them as far out as possible, but about a 45 angle degree to the body. And then I push myself out using my anterior delt and my trap. So when we're ready, we'll see if we can start from the knees. I'm going to guide you through on exactly what we're doing here. So from the knees, I don't want to come all the way back into a child's pose. I want my glutes just kind of sitting off my heels a little bit. I'm reaching forward, but I'm not reaching as far forward as possible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop to my forearms. There's a difference here between dropping on my elbows and my forearms. So I want to drop to, you could say, 2/3, maybe a little bit more than 2/3 of my forearm is dropping onto the floor, but my elbow is staying off the floor. So I don't want my elbow touching the floor. I want my forearm touching the floor with my elbows off. The second I drop my elbow, I'm going to lose momentum as I move forward. Same thing as I come back. I don't want my elbows touching. So throughout these entire drills, don't place the elbow to the floor. We're keeping the forearm down, but not the elbow. The elbow stays just a few inches off the floor. So we're going to inhale forward. And what I'm doing here is I'm transferring my weight from my forearms into my palms. It happens very quickly. I'm shifting the weight, transferring the weight from forearms into palms as I move forward and as I move back, okay? So we'll see if we can do that a total of 6 times. Remember, you're using that trap anterior delt strength to push yourself back. Inhale forward, exhale back. When you're ready, for 6, 5, 4, the feet can come off the floor. 2, Hey guys, thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you enjoyed it that much, please hit subscribe. It means a lot. And if you're someone who's looking to take their practice to that next level, whether you're a beginner looking to simply improve their practice, or even an advanced practitioner looking to fine-tune their practice, head over to B Movement Academy, my own online school of yoga and movement, where you can find all of my premium content and exclusive programs that will meet you every step of the way to meet any of those movement or mindfulness goals. Most light and love. Namaste.